In this lesson, we are going to be creating another site on Prestige Theme. Of course, we're starting out with the logo, and this store is going to be focused on genuine leather. So the other day, I was looking on AliExpress, coming up with some good new niche ideas, and I realized that there's actually quite a lot of genuine leather products, which is pretty exciting, right? And there's a wide variety of products, especially in the bags category. So if you need a niche idea, I'm just going to give you this one. I haven't ran it yet, and I'll kind of keep my team off limits on this one just so you can use it. And Prestige Theme fits perfectly for this type of niche, right? It's higher end, it's gonna be a little bit glossier, and it's just gonna have more of a premium vibe. So of course we're gonna start our logo process by going into a stock photo website, and for this one we're gonna be using Adobe Stock. So what I'm looking for is an L logo, right? Some way of making the letter L look kind of fancy and cool, because Luca Leather, we're kind of alluding to the fact that it's part of like some prestigious family, right? We're not going to make that outright claim because that would be illegal to lie, but the customers can use their wildest imaginations when they think about the brand. And I really like this columns logo, right? Nothing screams kind of Italian, Roman, than some columns, and this is also in the shape of an L. So I'm gonna go ahead and order this image, $2.99 for a logo. That is gonna be dynamite, beats paying Fiverr or Upwork as much as $50 and waiting a week just for something generic. So we're gonna put it into Photoshop and get cracking on this bad boy. So here it is, and what we're gonna do is we obviously want to remove all of the yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the magic wand tool, and I'm holding down control to select multiple items, and then I'm gonna add a clipping layer, and there you go. Super fast way to remove the background. Now we only have the symbol, and what I want to do is basically add in some text to this logo, right? And we're gonna use that horizontal text tool, and right now it's gonna be using the font Popkins, but I'm gonna be plugging in a different font later, and I'm just gonna call this Luca, right? I'm not gonna say it's Luca Leather, I'm not gonna say anything, and it's because I'm kind of stealing this concept from Gucci, right? Or Prada. Those designer stores, the ones that are very luxurious, they don't really say what they're selling, right? It's not Gucci apparel, right? It's not Gucci like sportswear, it's not Prada anything, right? It's just the name of a brand, and we're trying to capture that same designer feel with Luca because it's selling some pretty high-end, pricier products, genuine leather ones, right? And I have a perfect font in mind. It's called English Grotesque, and I found this one on the internet or was already on my Photoshop. I have so many fonts just because of how much designing I've done, and I think this looks pretty awesome so far. What I like in particular about this logo is those two C's kind of look like horseshoes, which gives it a very big leather vibe. So that's something I really like, and I kind of like how this thing is turning out. I'm gonna go in and kind of edit the text. I'm not gonna make it pure black. I'm gonna make it a darker gray, so it's a little bit more subtle. And what I'm gonna do next is change the spacing of these letters. Okay, so that looks a lot better, and you can just do this under text properties. And as I'm looking at this logo, I think that this could also look really well without the symbol on top, right? And when we think about Gucci, obviously they have their logo, but on a lot of their websites and a lot of their marketing, they only have their lettering, right? A lot of big brands, especially designer brands, do this same thing, right? Louis Vuitton sometimes just has Louis Vuitton on there and not the LV monogram. So we're gonna hide the background. I'm gonna try to see what this site is gonna look like if we're using a different type of logo, no symbol at all, and just the text, to make it even cleaner and crisper and easier to execute. So I'm just gonna make sure this canvas is super snug alongside of here. And of course, what we were gonna wanna do is just export this bad boy over onto our computer so we can plug it in and take a look at what it will look like on Prestige Theme. So we're gonna be exporting this as a PNG, and I'm just gonna go ahead and save it in a place with a lot of the other Luca stuff I'm going to be referring to throughout the lesson as we build this course, and go into customize on Prestige Theme, wait for this thing to load, and we're going to go into the header and just simply plug this in and see what it's going to look like. And bam, I think that looks pretty awesome if I do say so myself. And I think it's very minimalist, very modern, very clean. And keep in mind, we're selling basically bags, right? Men's kind of leather bags, shoulder bags, all sort of these higher end items. And What I'm doing right now is going to be creating a favicon, which is that little icon that shows up on the browser, kind of in the URL display. And I'm just going to only pick the L, and that's what we're going to use to kind of represent our brand at the smallest level. I think it's a pretty clean way to do it, and hopefully customers don't feel like they take an L when they buy from our business, because these bags are going to be great quality. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is go into theme settings, and there's going to be an area called favicon. We're going to select the image and just plug in this L, and that's going to be basically this little logo that'll show up on top of the browser. You can see it on all of your respective tabs, and I think this is looking pretty awesome, right? So what I want to do at this point is just preview this logo on mobile, wait for this thing to save. And it's always good to do this, and I'm also trying something out a little bit differently this time, right? There's this transparency feature on Prestige theme that you can see right now, right? This logo kind of turns transparent as you scroll. And the last Prestige theme store that we created together, I made it solid color, right? So this time I'm going to build a store that takes advantage of this glossy higher end feature, and that's going to be something to really look forward to. And I'm excited to design the rest of this site with you.